have a vocal in the background, and it's very warm in the Netherlands. And to my opinion, is she singing, "You're buying me an ice cake." Listen to what she sings. She's buying me an ice cake. Yeah, it's pretty warm here. Yeah, features working well. Everybody, hello. Today about RP-Verb 2. I did some freaking stuff here. You see, you can hear all kind of noises. And the snare is working here. This is the snare. Bypass, very dry snare. Listen to what the RP-Verb 2 does to it. Yeah, as you can hear, I had a little stream background, a little stream about RP-Verb 2 on Facebook because we added an update. Because we had one problem with the envelope follower. It has down here, the original one had a button called latch, envelope latch, and that didn't work out. We did try again to improve this function, but we decided, well, without it, it's much better, and most likely all the presets were without it, because it never worked out. So the envelope follower is something which you can trigger as an envelope, and then you can put this on audio. So, excuse me, this means that you have a gated reverb. So if I, let's play only the snare. Let me see if I can arrange that for you. This I need to solo 2 tracks. So now we hear only the snare. So you see it's a very dry snare. So here I go back to dry. It's a snare. You only hear a little bit minimal room in the snare itself. It's a pretty dry snare. And now reverb is added, is a whole cave. And here with the, if you open and use the envelope follower, this which is down here, and that's what I talk about today, about the RP-Verb 2 and these special things which are inside. So the envelope follower, it gets the audio and then triggers this envelope. So what happens here is the mono input I put on, because if you have a stereo signal and then maybe left or right is triggering before actually, yeah, it's better to have a mono, because otherwise you could have from the left side a trigger or from the right side a trigger. And sometimes the audio should be then mono for triggering, so that it really has a tight timing. So you see the snare is, and it all, most of the time only works on an insert, because I want to have the gated reverb on one sound. So here's the whole. We also increased the whole quality. There was a problem with it, a bug. So really, we have updated RP-Verb 2 with this fix. And so if you have RP-Verb 2, go to the download page, download the latest installer. And if you have the Explorer 6 bundle, simply download in the download page of Explorer 6. Go down a bit more, and then you can download the single installer, run it, and you have this update. So what you can do with this is very cool. So this gated reverb thing, which I hear now, you can even maybe make it tempo sync. So if I go here to click sync, you see that the hold and release and even the attack gets a tempo synced value. Okay, I put that now off, so I'll keep it this way. Well, and the cool thing about RP-Verb 2 is that you can connect this envelope also to the reverb length. So here you see you have 2 destinations for this envelope. You can really make weirder sounds. Sometimes it can sound a bit unnatural, but if you make it a bit shorter, you can really get such a barking sound. So this one is very nice, to my opinion. And then you can combine that, of course, here with the reverse. Now it's too short for the reverse. I need to go down with the reverse time. It should be a bit... So if the reverb, of course, is shorter by the gate, you need to And let's see how this combines now with... So let's play it again dry. It's harder, the reverb, the snare is now harder to hear because it's so dry. So if you add a room, it also takes more space in your mix. And of course the cool thing is this you can automate. Now only reversed. Okay, so I wanted to show today a few things about RP-Verb 2. Let's go back very short to the live stream, and then I will continue in telling about the features of RP-Verb 2. Okay, the microphone should be a bit louder, no problem. Yeah, the music is quite... I have quite some tracks playing around it. So, okay, this is maybe done a bit better for the vocal, my sound. Okay, so back to where we were is... everybody, hello. It's Deep House. I'm not sure what it is, but I just simply played a bit of a few things, sequences, and then simply that's a good base to show the reverb a bit in action. Of course, don't judge my music. It's just simply as a background thing. So going back now, so here we have the RP-Verb, and you see a lot of things are very common. You have the reverb section. A late reflection is one reflection which is coming back from a wall, for instance. Then you have the early reflections, which are very short delays. Ensemble, which is a kind of chorus you can have ahead of the reverb. And then what is also special of RP-Verb 2 is the distortion. You have different type of distortion. This really adds a lot of cool things to the sound, because picture if you are having a room and you have microphones to record this room. Yeah, you have always a bit of distortion of the analog gear, or maybe the gain is a bit too high, and this you can essentially reproduce by using the distortion. So let's play this again on the snare without distortion and then with distortion. So I need to click here again on the solo. So here we go again. Now I bring, this is the on-off mute. So this is without the distortion. By clicking on the icon, you can put it on off. Really gives this middle edge to it. So you see the reverb length. I changed it a bit without distortion. And there are different distortions. You have fold over, fuzz. So it really makes it aggressive. So okay. Again, with the music. Give me a second. No, the wrong one. Yeah, you can hear it makes it very a bit over the top. In this case, it's over the top. This reminds me a bit to the Phil Collins room, you know. Okay, my voice is not solo, so the it's a bit like a Phil Collins sound, really barking sound. So bypass, and then you hear that it is a very standard snare, very almost dry, and it really adds the tone to the sound. So it's a very tone maker also for your drum sounds. Okay. And of course the combination together with the reverse can make it interesting. Reverse always can be bypassed. This icon, the icons inside RP-Verb 2 are essentially for putting things on off. So distortion on off, the ensemble, early reflections. So the reverse also can be shut off, of course. So this for on a single snare. So the envelope follower triggers on the audio, and then it starts this envelope, which you can use on the audio, and you can control different parameters with it. So, and then there's of course another envelope which is inside here, but I want to show that one on a later point. Okay, let's check again the chat room. She drives me crazy, snare from the fine young cannibals. Yeah. Susu Studio. Yes. Yeah, people just think about the different types of music. Yeah, the drums is from Punch too. It's it's one single snare drum. So let me show you. So I'm responding now to some of the chat room. It's this snare. It's from the Diverse Bank, the D. So a lot of, so if I play the beat, I had to sneeze. So now it's the drum on the whole gate. Now, and then we have this envelope follower. So let's put this one off. So then we only have the room. And the envelope, which is here, that one works with a, so go to the envelope here, you can put it on off. That one works now on host trigger, and I put it on one loop. Then it starts once I hit play. And then what happens is that it starts repeating this envelope, which also can be tempo sync based. So this could then do some weird things, but for this I need this other drum track. So maybe you should go to the other drum track. So I put this one to off, and I go to the other drum track, which is here, which I add some extra things. So So here's the other one. Okay, let's open RP-Verb 2. So this is a whole different preset. Also using the distortion. This is dry. And in this one I use the storm rule. They are pretty wild, but if you have a short timing or even the envelope gate, then it really gets interesting. But now I shut it off, so I go to the envelope follower, set it to host trigger, and then let's see what happens. So let's do a sync. Let's take a longer hole, simply a different hole, simply a clean hole, not too long. So give me a second. So now the envelope should trigger now, and I put that loop on half a bar. So let's see what happens. And I use that one on the reverb length. Okay, I need to start, of course. So it triggers, this envelope triggers on the host trigger. When I hit play, it starts using this envelope. I'm not sure the setting is right, but let's see how it goes. Hear it? It is repeating. Makes a swirly sound. Well, this is more for effect sounds on vocals and that kind of stuff. But this is the other envelope. So this one is triggered by the envelope. You can loop it. And if you have no loop, it means that it only uses once this envelope. Well, this is more for experimental stuff. I don't use it that much myself. Then there is, of course, this LFO modulation, in which you can use an LFO for changing parameters inside RP-Verb 2. Or, for instance, the modulation wheel, if you connect MIDI to it. So that is still possible. So here you see a modulation wheel, but you need to connect the MIDI to it. So these three things down below, the envelope follower, which are the normal envelope, which can be triggered by a MIDI trigger or by host trigger, and the LFO and modulation and trigger setup. So here are some experimental stuff, of which the envelope and the LFO modulation trigger is more experimental. But of course, the most often used is, of course, for gated reverb, this envelope follower. So, and this one is improved now by us, by removing one parameter, and it works great now. Okay, so this was this other drum. So let's go back. So I mute this now, and of course we have vocals on which we can use RP-Verb, but maybe first another sound. So, but let me also check the chat room. Okay. Okay. Good. Yeah, everybody can follow it. There's no... Of course, there are other different sounds on which you can use the piano, for instance. So let's go to the piano and what I use there. And there also the reverse mode is very interesting. Okay, I don't have the piano keys for me, so sometimes I hit a bit of hard here. What I mean by that is that the velocity setting is not as I wanted to have it. Okay, let's make it a bit louder. So this is the ivory piano. It's my favorite piano. So let's shut down my microphone. You can hear better. It's with RP-Verb 2. So now when I shut down RP-Verb 2, you can hear how it sounds without the reverb. So for a spacey sound, really ambient music, of course, RP-Verb 2 is great. This is a very long. I even can make it spacier, even longer spacey. This the whole cave. Make it a bit, and then you really have an ambient sound for the piano. And that combined with reverse, that's even, then you got more additional things to it. Listen to this. I need to adjust a bit the setting for the reverse. So let's try it again. There should be a trigger level which was too high, so I put the trigger level for starting the reverse recording, and let's try it again. So of course you need to find the right setting. And of course you can mix between. That is maybe cool if you have a track like I did, so. Maybe a bit too spacey, but you get my point. So also on acoustic instruments, it can be very nice. So that's something. Yeah, of course you need to put in the taste yourself in the reversing. So I would tweak myself this a bit. Maybe should be longer this whole time before it. Yeah, then it's too loud. Of course, there are reverbs which are convolutions, which recorded the room, which are then, that's what they call convolutions room. RP-Verb 2 is a algorithm room, so I can go really crazy in terms of space size. So this piano, I could go insane, it's having 14.2 seconds. Which is a huge haul. And what I found cool, and if you listen carefully, you hear the melody play back in the reverb. I will play it once. Yeah, you see, very versatile for percussion, drums, whatever. RP-Verb 2, also if you're looking for a spacey reverb. And I also use it in one sound here inside this little piece of music on the Predator 2. So let's play it again. So, but ahead of that, I'll check the chat room. Yeah, my piano playing is not as good as Richard Kleider, man. This is the Ivory 2, yeah, if I'm not wrong. Yes, that's correct. So let's play the tune again. And then I'll let you show you. It's Predator 2 what I'm used. Okay, let's play this solo. Here it comes solo. And I put off totally the reverb. You see bypass here. And this sound is... Okay, let's play it. It's amazing how much reverb can do to a sound. So where is it again? Sorry, I need to track which reverb, because I have a lot of reverbs open now because I'm so many tracks, all of them have RP-Verb. So again, and that's bypass. Totally dry, isn't it? This is the dry sound. One saw wave. It's one preset from the Ambient 01 bank, the tick saw ARP, which is an ARP sound, but I did shut off the arpeggiator, put it to Polo, shut off the FX, and only use RP-Verb 2. And really, you hear how much this makes the sound. Depends, of course, on the style of music you're creating. For instance, in hip-hop, you don't hear any reverb. They are very dry in their way of producing. So here it again with the... Let's put on the reverb. So that makes it also stand out in a piece of music. So here it comes again. Now you hear it in the music, but if I would bypass it now, it's almost gone, isn't it? Interesting. So without reverb. So really places also things in the mix. And of course, if everything has reverb, it gets too muddy, but this one really adds the dimension to it. So okay, so let's go back to the chat room. No, I think it's not a chorus delay. Let me see. It's a good point. Reverb, it's the salt in the cooking. Yeah, absolutely. And trust me, we had in the past, let's say in the 80s and the 90s, a good reverb did cost a huge fortune. The famous Lexicon. And so while we did our tracks mixing in the studios, we always had these expensive reverbs, and they were amazing. So I always was a big fan of these reverbs. And so I thought to discuss this many years ago. It was the first RP-Verb I discussed with John about creating a reverb. And yeah, so we had first RP-Verb, which was a big success. And now, of course, we have RP-Verb 2, which again, some new ideas like the reverser and distortion inside of it. But it's correct, this reverb which is used on this solo sound has the ensemble active. So the ensemble goes directly and into the reverb, so that you can select this here. So let's play it again without it. Okay, I need to solo myself again, so let's play it here without ensemble. So this is without ensemble. Now with ensemble, click it on. And that makes it swirly, isn't it? That a really nice thing. Also very nice on vocals, by the way. And you have two options to have the ensemble directly, so it goes directly to the output. This ensemble sound, because I can shut down even the reverbs, and I only have ensemble. So if you think, oh, this ensemble is nice, I don't want to have the reverb, you put off the reverb. That is possible. So and then you only have the ensemble. So don't push this one by accident and create a support ticket. My reverb is not working. Well, maybe you put it off here. So yeah, so that's from the instrument insert our bank. So we have different banks with RP-Verb 2. This is called guitar acoustic chorus for an acoustic guitar, but it works nicely, this sound also on the synth sound. Okay, so on vocals, I had this weird vocal here, which is this one. Whatever can I say? So it's a pitched up one. So I pitched up this this because it was not in the F tuning, but in the C tuning. So I pitched it 5 semitones. Okay, let me see, where is the whatever can I say? So let's open it. And this one uses also this reverb thing. So, okay, maybe I should have it a bit more. I can have this one. Okay, let's play it a few times. Now dry. Whatever can I say? It sounds a bit like the Smurf, you know, Smurfing. It's a bit weird tuned, but if you put on the reverb and reverse, makes it a... Can I say? So I put it on now, and there's a this one doesn't use an envelope, but it's really using the reverse. Can I say? You hear that? That comes back. So that's a really nice thing together. Okay. Whatever can I say? She can buy me an ice cake. That's what she's singing. To my impression, it's very warm here, so an ice cake is not bad at all. So here now I put on the ensemble. You can throw it also directly into the reverb, but it's also possible. It sounds a bit different, but it's also nice to have directly the scores over the dry sound. So let's make it a bit more wet. So let's see what's the rest. Yeah, isn't it funny? Yeah, I mean, I did a lot of noises added to it. Sub bass for the bass. Then we have this sound from Jamal. By the way, it's one finger chord. You know that one maybe? But what I did is simply I changed a bit the setting of it. So let's play it solo. I made it shorter, so you know this sound from the introduction bang, I guess, but I made it shorter, and in some way it did blend very nicely into the rest. And of course we have these guitars from last time are inside of it. But I also have another guitar, which is this one, RG. I'm not sure if I use this one. Can I buy you an ice cream? Yeah. Okay, let's go to the RG. Maybe it's cool to do something with RG, and so let's play it solo. Really a guitar, wah-wah guitar. It's really great for grooves, for house type of things, underground, whatever. But we could do this one also. Give it a reverb. So I would select here as insert. So let's go experiment now. I'm gonna use RP-Verb 2. And my first idea would be something very short. So I go to the instrument insert. Let's see what is there, what we have there in terms of presets. Piano natural room. Guitar to reverse. Oh, let's try that one. Okay, next one. Okay, let's start on the first beat. Now I only have the reverse sound. Now that's really a kind of rhythm. It's of course very important. This reverse is tempo synced, you see. And it's, so I go to the start and let's see how this blends in with the rest. So I only have the reversed reverb on the RG. Yeah, maybe a bit too busy, but if you play it solo, it's interesting. So what you need to do then is, of course, yeah, maybe try the audio gate, not synced. Interesting, isn't it? And of course, you can automate this wet dry and blend it in the mix the moment you want to have it. So if let's do this. So you see, that's such a creative machine. It goes far beyond a traditional reverb. Because of the reverser, this envelope follower, the distortion you can add. Yeah, name it. It's... Okay, the song is called You Can Buy Me an Ice Cream. Oh no, ice cake, I heard. Okay, let's go to the chat room. Can you make it on the guitar patch which you made? Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do that. So let's check the other things. Okay, yeah, everybody can follow it. Yeah, it's cool. RP-Verb 2. If you know your way around a bit, yeah, it's really a very cool thing. I think the traditional envelope and the LFO mode trigger are not that often used, although you can connect MIDI to it and use the modulation wheel to do odd stuff. For instance, the changing the length of the reverb suddenly on a given moment, although you also could do this with an automation of the automation of the parameters. Yeah, okay. So this was RG, you see, very cool. Let's see again. So we're gonna put her on the ice cake. Shut up. So now she's silenced. So let's go to this guitar sound. This one, and it's essentially two. So here we have my track. You see, this is this ice cake with the drums. There's Predator, which is the sound, and I go to the insert. Okay, better do is let me see where it is. It's this one together with the, so these two tracks. It's solo mute, which is the lower keyboard, and this is the upper keyboard. So essentially the same synth is used, but it's playing on different scales. So I put it a bit louder, and now I go to the mixer, and I put the insert. Okay, no, that's the MIDI insert. That's then we get here RP-Verb 2. I go to insert, instrument. It's a long one. This is a gated one. Of course, it's only gated, it's only closed when there's nothing playing. Let's put the reverse. Let's see how much time. Reverse time, half a bar. The attack and decay, by the way, makes that the reverse sound gets a slow attack, so that it goes up a bit and a soft release of decay. Because sometimes when you reverse a sound, you get a whack, you know, this, and that you can avoid the reverse sound. You can give a bit of a envelope, volume envelope. So without envelope follow, maybe a room is better. Let's take a room. Okay, let's start again. That's nicer. And this you could blend in, so starts this way. And of course now it reverses, the reverb is on the sound, included the delay. So what you also could do is feed the dry sound and then put a delay behind it. So let's see how it blends in with the music. Yeah, it's cool. So maybe, I'm not sure, this is the sound modulation wheel. No, that doesn't make it better. So you see, that puts a lot of, still it's nice. So this is only rhythm thing, and the reverser is the tempo synced, and then still it's of course wise to start on the first beat to have everything very nice timed. So yeah, it's getting cool. And I also had this one. That's a bit too deep. We're gonna put it on the edge. Now I hear I want to get an ice cake. Okay. Okay, guys. let's see if in the chat room, I hope you enjoyed what you can do with RP-Verb 2. Maybe you didn't expect that there was so much fun parts inside of it, and just tweak. That's very important, to tweak with it. And if you have a good preset, save it, of course. And of course, inside your song, the settings are also saved. Okay. So, okay, I see. Oh, about the thick, sharp ARP sound. Yeah, Winston is asking about which preset I'm using, about this lead sound. No, this other one. This one is, yeah, as mentioned, it's the thick, sour ARP, but I shut down the delays and the arpeggiator. So let's go. I can go to the manager and load it again. So this is this sound. Now it gets too much. It gets also the reverb from Predator itself, which are great. So that I did shut down. The second one is a chorus, and then the third one is a stereo delay. That one I still could use. Very nice sequence sound. So that, and I put it to poly, and I played this melody because, yeah, without the FX, that's wanted to show you early in the live stream that how much influence an FX can have, and you need a good. Okay, let's do it again here. You need to have a quality reverb because in the past, if you had a cheap sounding reverb, maybe you heard the early 90s synthesizers, they never had such a good reverb. It was more a clattering, did break down the sound. Delays are essentially very easy. Delays have not much influence on the sound quality because delay essentially delays the sound which it gets in, but reverb is really a coding, and if the coding is not good, it really breaks down the sound. So, and sometimes people think, okay, I love these ugly reverbs. Yeah, that's also a sound, of course, but I love more the natural and the reverbs which embrace a sound. So when I go here, bypass, you hear how dry this sound is. I mean, it could, for the same reason, could be a sound from my Jupiter 8, which comes out like this. So how can you make a Jupiter 8 even sound greater? By adding a great reverb. And of course, that's also what is the same with the CS80. Vangelis used plates on a very long setting. He used the lexicon reverbs, and that also made the sound. Yeah, 80s keys, 50% was effects processors. Yeah, for the chorus, they always sounded great. Chorus and delay, no problem. But reverb, not always that good quality as it could have been. So okay. So this one is also pretty long, 6.4 seconds. And of course it has this ensemble. So that's the sound I use for this. And you see, sometimes you have a preset, and simply by shutting down the preset, it's some of its default settings like the built-in FX, and simply go from arpeggiator to poly, and you get something which you can use as a single lead sound. Okay. Okay, did I have everything? I think I did. I showed it on drums, on the snare. Of course, we had the snare here, the first one. And now I hear all kind of sounds which don't belong. Not sure where they come from. Okay, let's see where it goes wrong. Oh, very extreme setting with the snare. Yeah, you can say that. Oh, okay. Oh, this is a snare which is gone insane. So, of course, you can also make sounds which don't work. Let's see where it is again. Okay, maybe let's see if things work now again. We have the punch drum. Let's see if we can have a bandy. Yeah, that's the okay, now it's a bit better. Oh, Braid is here in the background. Yeah, of course, we are busy with Blade 2. We are working on the user interface on Facebook. I posted already a little snippet of it. Maybe you might see it if you have on Facebook. So yes, this is nice, and I hope you enjoyed it. The live stream about RP-Verb 2. What I like to mention is, if you like this channel, subscribe to it. You can hit the there's a little icon which is a like a clock. So then you hear early when something pops up, like the live stream or a new video. Maybe I want to tell you about the plans with Blade 2. Hopefully we can have it out in somewhere in October. So in September, we are doing the final things on the graphics and working on the presets, so the manual, all that kind of things which pop up. And then hopefully in October we can release it. And we add this to the Explore 6 bundle. So the Explore 6 people will be definitely very happy because they get again a very cool new synthesizer. Okay, another things which are planned are for RP-Verb 2 are bigger screen sizes. But yeah, currently our designer is busy with the Blade 2. But once that is ready, that will catch up again with the RP-Verb 2 with 200% size screen and that kind of things. And also, we also started working on Subbase 2, having more built-in samples and ratcheting. So, but that needs a redesign of the sequencer page, so it will get ratcheting as well. So yeah, you see, we are very busy, and I'm checking here the chat room. Okay, So let's put again in front for the last, this RP-Verb 2. So I hope you enjoyed it and learned a bit about RP-Verb 2. Just experiment with it. So in an FX setup, which is in a mixer, you simply use the folders which are called Vocal 1, for instance. But insert means that you have it on a particular channel, only on this channel, this reverb. If you use FX Send, then you can use RP-Verb. For instance, if you have one long reverb, you can use it on multiple tracks inside your host. So then you only have to load one RP-Verb for having one nice long reverb for particular instruments. But it's the same as mixing. So with Cubase, for instance, and I think also with other hosts, you can use the FX Send mode for adding FX, and insert is really for each track a different RP-Verb. And if you use with gated, what I showed with the drums, if you use the envelope follower, then it's of course you need to have the insert, because otherwise the reverb gets all kind of other sounds and would trigger the envelope. So then the gate would not work. So I showed it with the single snare sound, only single snare sound, the gated reverb was possible. Okay, thanks you for watching, guys. Need to see you next time, next Thursday again. I would say stay safe, keep well,